Hello and welcome to Showverse Live. I'm your host, Kylene McHenry, and today I am joined with the cast and crew for Black Friday. It was released in 2017, and the synopsis of the film was during the Thanksgiving season, aliens dominate for years finally set their plans to conquer Earth into motion. The only thing standing in their way are two clueless friends who, with a little help from an excessive grump, just may have what it takes to fight back. And just so everyone is aware, this is still our month of charity for the Innocence Project. The link is in the description, as well as the comments already pinned on the YouTube and the Twitch. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce Megan, who is the lead character Mike in the film. Hello, Megan.
Hi.
Hi, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Great to be here today. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. And next, I'd like to introduce Crescentia Voles, who is the director of the film, as well as one of the extras. Hello, Crescentia.
Hi,
How are you
how's everyone
doing?
tonight? I'm doing great.
Doing fantastic. And lastly, we have one of the executive producers. His name is Neil. Hello, Neil. How are you doing today?
Doing well. Thanks for having us.
A little bit of a lag on your end? Okay. Oh, hello, Raptor. Anyways, without further ado, let's get on with it, shall we? Okay, so during the Thanksgiving, that's what I, not, ignore me. So what inspired you all to make this film? Let's start with Crescentia.
All right, so I had worked on a different short and had an actor work on that short in just like a quick little scene. And I really enjoyed working with him and wanted to work with him again. And so when he was a radio DJ, and when I was listening to him one year right before Thanksgiving, and he was saying, there aren't enough Thanksgiving horror movies. So I go, I should write him a Thanksgiving horror movie so I can have him star in it. And so I started talking to Jamie, and we started throwing ideas around. And Jamie is just a great screenwriter, and he started getting this together. He was going, yeah, well, let's get together and put together some ideas. It's like, okay, wait till after the holidays. Well, by the time the holidays were done, he comes to me and he's got this script, and he's going, all right, I got the script for you. It's like, oh, great. And so we like went back and forth revising the script. But yeah, so it all came down to my friend Mike, who the lead character is named after.
Alrighty. And then Megan, you played the lead. What inspired you to take on the role, and how was it for the filming?
Oh, well, I will say I initially did not anticipate to be the lead in this film. I actually initially auditioned to be an extra. And so I was pretty shocked when I was offered the lead role. It was definitely different, I will say, being an alien in a human's body. But it was definitely fun to do, and an overall good experience.
Alrighty. Okay. So, well, I guess you kind of already answered that question about the why Thanksgiving. All right. How long did it take to film this?
Oh, that's a good question. The majority of everything was filmed in about like a 3-week period. But then a lot of other little smaller scenes were filmed later in the summer. So it was like 3 weeks all at once, and then like a day here and a day there and a day there. Altogether, the filming took from the time we filmed the first scene till the time we filmed the last scene took about 5 months or so.
5 months. Alrighty. So Oh, yes, I do have one specific question. What exactly was it that happened with that turkey? Because I saw the red thing go up and then all the gas, but like,
Right.
what?
So that's the so that represents like all of the turkeys. So all the Thanksgiving turkeys were loaded with a poison gas. And so then when the pop up timers pop up, then the gas is released.
Yeah, that was like the only thing in that entire film that kind of was like,
The old thing. So
Hmm?
oh, go ahead to the next question because that's gonna be
What was some of the challenges you faced starring in this, Megan?
Oh, goodness. Well, okay, so the part was originally written for a man to play. So it was very interesting being kind of the spin we sort of took on it was that I was an alien, so I was taking a human body, but I wouldn't know any difference between, traditionally male names or female names. And so I just picked this like male name and took on this like male persona almost kind of to play the role, but also being a female. And there was sort of a 3-layer thing going on, alien, human, and then just kind of this gender fluid individual. And I thought that was really a good thing that I liked about this script, that it was just so, I guess there were a lot of twists to the character and it was very complex. So that was definitely a challenge.
Okay, what was your best memory while you were filming?
I think the first night of filming actually was my best memory from this. It was a scene in which I had to consume copious amounts of junk food, which was both delicious and nauseating at the same time. That was a lot of fun. And Domino's was never so appealing and yet so revolting at the same time.
And Neil, what during the process for the film, what exactly was your job as a producer for this film? Hello?
It was pretty much a hands-off. It was more financial contribution. I wasn't in town. I live in California, so the filming was in Iowa. So I missed the whole production, but so it was more supportive.
Alrighty. Why did you feel like this was the film to invest in? Like, what about this film drew you in? And he's gone.
okay.
Well, then I'll give it 1 sec, and then if he doesn't come back, I'll go to the next question. Alrighty. Where was I?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I wanted to go back to fill in kind of a missing gap here. So I talked about my friend Mike and wanting to work with him and creating this character named Mike. And so I wanted to address that, like, how did we end up with Megan? So my friend Mike was all set to star in the film. And then shortly before we were going to start filming, he got a promotion at work and so wasn't able to commit that time anymore. And so we went through and we auditioned a couple of other actors to play Mike, and either their schedules weren't open or it just wasn't quite a good fit. So then when Megan came in to audition as an extra, we were kind of desperate to fill this position, and it's just like, would you just read for Mike? Just humor me and read for Mike. And she blew us away and was better than anybody else we'd auditioned. And it's just like, oh, yep, we have found our Mike. This is perfect. And, people were kind of like confused and going, okay. It's like, all right, are we going to change the script to say she all over the place? We're going to adjust this. It's like, nah, we'll just leave it all in there. they're body snatcher aliens, whatever, no problem. And and I've always thought like you don't see women in these kinds of roles enough, and just being like, now it's kind of weird to say an alien as being just a normal person, but but you don't really see women in these just normal sorts of roles of being, it's okay to be slobby and lay around and just play video games and watch TV and just kind of deal with things as they come to you and be snarky and things like that. And so it's just like, no, I want to see, like, I would love to see a actress in this role, because like that's who I relate to. It's kind of funny because I didn't know it at the time that there was a word for this, but I've recently discovered that I'm non-binary. So it's like, oh, now all of a sudden all of this makes sense of like going, no, I really like when we're like combining masculine and feminine aspects in a character. Oh, now I have a word to describe that.
And you know what? On a personal note, now I know why you wanted to do the comedy. that makes so much sense now.
I know, and I didn't know it at the time when I suggested that for that one either. And I just like suggested like, I just want to see somebody that I can relate to, and I didn't know what a word was for me to define that. So yeah, like, I was asked recently if I was going to start like bringing that into my film work and like addressing more of my non-binary nature into film. And I'm going, I already have been. I just didn't have a word for what I was doing.
It's great how things turn out.
Right, yeah.
All right. So my next question is, what was the original direction you wanted to take during the production process? And then how did that shift while you were filming?
Okay, and we've talked a little bit about this as we've gone tonight, but like originally it was supposed to be more of a horror, and then it just was like, yeah, let's make this a little bit more comedy, and then it just kind of evolved into this whole buddy comedy thing. And like there were a few things in the original script that were kind of a bit misogynistic, so we kind of fixed some of that. And it's really interesting that like through the editing process, I realized something about this film that I really like, and I'd love to do it on purpose sometime. But that if you watch it through again, thinking about this, every like set of characters is in their own genre. Like everybody in the film is in a separate genre. So Mike and Jesse are in a comedy. They're in a buddy comedy. And Brian and Rebecca are in a drama. So like everything that happens with them is very dramatic. And Steve is like in this like action romance sort of thing going on, but like very much action movie. And so it's just really kind of funny how like each of these groups of our main characters have their own genre, and everything that they do, like everything impacting their characters, is very, set in their genre. So it was kind of funny when I realized that.
I hadn't thought about that, but actually, yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, you're totally right.
Yeah. So it's really funny. So even though it's a sci-fi buddy comedy, like it's pieces of all of these different genres.
All right. And I'd like to pose that question to you as well, Megan. During pre-production, when you were making your character, how did it like shift during to the actual filming?
Well, I don't know if I have a good answer for that question. I guess over the course of filming, the relationship between Mike and Jesse, I think, really evolved. And so when we got towards the end of filming, our chemistry vastly improved. And so I think that shows in the film, where some scenes it's just like, oh yeah, they're clearly best friends,
Yeah, like with the whole like banter with the whale and the booyah and like, oh, that was so great. Like just the chemistry between the characters and the inside jokes that like pop up. And
I still think the funniest scene in that was when they ran over the one character.
So during that, I actually thought I hit him once for real, and I was very scared. And I think that's the take that got used, was the one where I was like,
all right,
because he was trying to like hit the side of the car as you came up so that it would add that little extra. And
mission accomplished, I guess.
yeah.
Okay, so Megan, what was your favorite scene in the film?
I did like that driving scene. I liked the carrots. For whatever reason, he's just eating a whole carrot. Just, this is me. I love just the quirky little things about the film like that. There's just all these little bits and pieces about the film that I really like. Just these little tiny quirks with it.
Yes. Crescentia, what was your favorite part of the film?
Well, like I said with the banter, so there's two like main parts that I really like the banter in, and it was that one where they're talking to the commanding officer there, and they've got the whole back and forth with Fred Savage's bong shaped like a giant blue whale, and it's just great. And then the other part is like when they're first realizing what's happening, and they don't even have the whole story yet, but they're first realizing like what's going on, and there's like a giant man in their door, and they're like hiding back in like the kitchen and the bathroom of this apartment and just going back and forth, and this is the big dude just standing there waiting patiently as they're like trying to figure out what the plan is.
Alrighty. I have one more question, but before I get to that, I'd like to remind our viewers that this stream is to support the Innocence Project. The link is not only in the description for where we're streaming, but also in the comment section as well. I will be reading off any donations that are done during the stream, and then I'll be taking audience questions. If you guys have any, go ahead and start sending them in, and I will start reading some of them off. But my final, it's more of a statement rather than a question. Like the ending about, the film not being important. Like who wrote that? Like who wrote that? Whose idea was it even to put that in there? Because that was Jamie. Made me laugh and cry.
Yeah, that was totally Jamie, and it was just, just hilariousness. He is such a great writer, and not just comedy either. He wrote the drama that I directed last year that's in post-production now. It's called After Sophia. And he's working on another one, a horror. Oh, Megan, do you remember the name of it? No. I'll look it up quick and get back to you with that. But yeah, he's just such a great writer.
So Megan, I remember looking at the IMDb for you before when she told me you were going to be on, or they told me you were going to be on. But so this is your first major production on your credits, is that correct?
Yes, this is my first feature-length film.
So I know you touched on it a little bit, but like, what was like fully going on through your mind when you found out you're the actual lead? Like, yeah.
Well, shock, and then elation, and then, oh my gosh, I have to lead in a film. Yeah, it was crazy, and it was challenging, and it was so rewarding to do. Yeah, just lots.
So what other projects have you done since Black Friday?
Well, I recently did a couple short films, one called All Roads End, directed by Michael Minard. And actually, and then I did another film by him as well, a horror short called Hollow Walls, where I got to play a zombie.
Ooh.
And then, as always, I'm just doing stage productions here and there every now and then.
Awesome.
In my opinion, you can't call yourself a serious actor unless you've been a zombie.
Well, there you go.
Or at least some form of undead, whether it be a vampire, zombie, or something of that nature.
And on that note, Jamie's new film that he's working on is called Are You Dead Yet?
Oh, I saw the credits when I was looking up because I was hoping Jamie was going to be in it.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So let's go to the tilt fee. Let's refresh that. So we are currently at $560 still. Our goal is $800 for the entire month. We are so close to being there. And once we reach the $800 goal, that'll unlock a 10-hour stream of whatever game is picked, which we'll have a Google form up later on this week. So hurry up. You still have another week before that milestone is gone, because I'm not going to do a 10-hour stream otherwise, because that's a long commitment. Alrighty, so let's open up to audience. Let's see. Raptor, hello. How are you doing? Everyone said they were doing fine. What is that? All people got good talents they don't know about. That is very true.
Mhm.
And that's all. Oh, awesome. He's doing awesome. All right. Those are all of the comments. We actually do not have any questions. This is the last call for audience questions. I will give you guys a minute. Is there anything you guys want to talk about upcoming projects that you're allowed to, experiences in general, or just any kind of shout outs you want to do?
Oh, I do have one more thing to add about the film. So anybody who's watched it would be curious what exactly was thrown up on the camera. So that was canned soup, and it was cold. It wasn't even warmed up. She's just going, yeah, no problem, whatever. I'll just eat it just like that. You don't have to warm it up. And she's just like stuck it in her mouth, kind of chewed it up a little bit, and spit it right out on the camera. It was so good.
I'm not gonna lie, that made me a little sick watching that, because it looked really believable.
Yeah, behind the scenes note. So Tori, the other actress there, when she goes, "Ugh, it's on my knee," ugh, that was real gagging. She did not actually throw up, but that was her real reaction. Like, she was this close.
Oh my goodness. Oh, what about you, Megan? Is there anything you want to shout out or anything?
I don't. Shout out to Jamie, who's not here, but he's awesome. So
You hear that, Crescentia? You got to share the link with Jamie so that he can watch it later.
yeah.
Alrighty, and there have been no questions from the audience. So I'd like to thank you both again so much for participating in this Q&A. It was fantastic. And again, thank you all who have donated or who will donate to the charity. This is our first annual event, and next year we will have a lot more planned now that we are getting an office space come August. So things are definitely going to be coming out more. Oh, and there goes Crescentia. Well, anyways, thank you again, Megan, and you have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you. You also. Bye, everyone.
Bye.